It's mid-January, and it seems like there's been a lot of this.
January in itself has actually been relatively average so far. It's just that we had, I think, the cumulative effect of November and December. November was crazy with 54 centimeters, like where we usually get 8 or 9. December was also around 50-ish, but we usually get more in December. But the other big thing is we haven't had a big thaw. There hasn't been like a big, absolute thaw where we've had no more snow on the ground. So, I mean, we did have a little bit a couple weeks ago, but most of the snow that we've seen throughout the year is still there. I think it's also the cumulative effect that when you have to go out and shovel your driveway every day for those 3 to 4 centimeters, it just kind of hits you more that, oh, we're having a lot of snow than if there was like 2 big snowstorms and nothing in between. You might not think the same way.
If you feel like it's been colder than average, you'd be right.
December was actually like one of the coldest months we've seen in the last 25 years for December, of course. And January, especially looks like the next couple of weeks is going to be very cold. So hopefully we'll see if it'll be the coldest part of the actual winter.
And Frank's advice for the next couple of days is?
Bundle up. That's going to be the message for the next, not just couple days, but I'd say the next week, and especially this weekend. Of course, sometimes it looks sunny out there, but when you get outside, it can be cold and windy, and I think there will be some wind chills that are going to get into the minus 20-ish kind of region, and that is where it gets certainly dangerous to be outside if you're not dressed for it. Look what's out there. Usually, I'm going to say this, when it's that cold, we don't get as much snow, so there's not that much snow predicted for the next week or so. The real thing is going to be the temperature, so that'll be the thing that you most have to worry about.
Brantford is set to see a major boost to its supportive housing supply as Indwell announces plans to build up to 100 units of permanent supportive housing at 452 Grey Street.
Indwell is a Christian charity that creates affordable housing communities for people seeking health, wellness, and belonging. Our vision is hope and homes for all. So our housing, it's for people seeking health, wellness, belonging. We're providing homes for individuals that are experiencing homelessness or at highest risk of becoming homeless, providing the affordability and the supports in a community that they'll need to be successful.
The Grey Street property is the current home of Friendship House, who were a key part of bringing Indwell to the city and will continue to operate alongside the new housing units.
We saw the homelessness situation and the housing crisis, and we were looking for ways to address that. And the conclusion we came to was the best way was to contact people who are experts in the field. And as far as we were concerned, there was nobody as good as Indwell. So we called them and got the ball rolling, and here we are. This opportunity is the first step to addressing the homelessness crisis here in town. And so it will give 100 people a place to live, but not just a place to live, but to get the supports to live successfully and be parts of the community. And it'll take people who are ostracized right now, for the most part, by the larger city, and bring them into fellowship with everybody else.
Indwell, who currently provide affordable or supportive housing to over 1,300 tenants across Ontario, will also provide healthcare services to the residents of the Grey Street project.
Our support includes an interdisciplinary team of healthcare providers. That includes on-site nursing, addiction support, psychosocial support, supportive housing coordinators, and typically a food coordinator. A number of our tenants would receive a daily meal every day as well.
Indwell hopes to break ground on the project later this year, with the goal of opening these homes in 2028. For those looking to learn more about the project, Indwell will hold an open house in March. Information can also be found at indwell.ca.
The province announced it's investing in critical water infrastructure projects to help 127 municipalities and First Nations communities.
As part of this plan, our government recently increased, almost doubled, the Municipal Housing Infrastructure Program to $4 billion to ensure shovels are in the ground for more housing and community-enabling infrastructure. We know that maintaining local water systems is essential to making new housing possible. Whether it is clean drinking water, reliable wastewater systems, or flood mitigation infrastructure, these are the foundations for strong, resilient communities. Today, I am pleased to announce that our province is investing an additional $700 million to ensure 127 municipalities and First Nations have better water services and to protect homes during extreme weather events. This brings the total investment in our health and safety water stream to $875 million, and it represents a five-fold increase from the initial $175 million investment. Now, through this program, our Ontario government is proud to help our municipal and our Indigenous communities build, rehabilitate, and expand aging water infrastructure while also supporting the existing housing supply.
So it's already been tabled in the House. And what it does is it sticks to my why I ran for politics, which is this drug crisis that we're facing on a national level. I don't think there's one riding that hasn't been affected some way by this drug crisis that we're facing. So what it does is it enters rehabilitation into incarceration. And so I'll walk you through sort of how it will work. Is a judge can prescribe rehabilitation to an inmate, whatever that might look like. Could be drug rehabilitation, could be mental health supports, could be education, whatever that might look like. And then if the inmate chooses to take that rehabilitation path, then it's up to us, the federal government, to supply the supports, offer the supports that are needed to complete that rehabilitation plan. And then when the plan's completed, the parole board can actually look at it as an extra measure, just to look at, to see if they had completed the prescribed rehabilitation plan. So it isn't forced, it's still inmate choice, but it offers another path. I believe so much in breaking cycles and an opportunity to do so. So you have to be accountable. You know, if you've gotten in trouble and have to go to jail, you have to be accountable to your actions. But I also want to provide another path for someone to break their cycle and rehabilitate or do what they need to do so that when they get out of jail, that they can lead a different life.
So when you put forth this bill, what was the reasoning behind it for you? Was it a personal situation, or was it that you looked at it and you could see that there's loopholes or holes in it that need to be corrected?
The personal reason for me was really to focus on any way that I can make change on a federal level around rehabilitation. I believe in abstinence-based rehabilitation, and that people need to, when they make that choice to change their lives, that they need the help and the support to do so. And this is what I can do to on a federal level, start implementing that, and also start talking about it more on a national level of, hey, we need brick and mortar, we need mental health supports, we need to service people when they're ready to make that change for themselves. And so this is a starting point to first hold everybody accountable, and second, change the narrative around what addiction is and the fact that people can rehabilitate, can change their lives, and can have a whole different, beautiful life on the other side of addiction.
And there it is, the Kodak moment, nicely done.
The best and brightest players in the Ontario Hockey League gathered in the city of Peterborough for the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game. The East and the West had trouble getting on the scoreboard because of great goaltending like this from the Guelph Storm's Zachary Jovanovski. The West got on the scoreboard first with Igor Barabanov of the Sarnia Sting breaking the eggs. But the East came back with the North Bay Battalion's Ryder Cali slapping this one from the blue line. Off to the second period, Peterborough Pete's Adam Novotny breaks the tie with this goal. bringing the East up 2-1. But the West come back with Saginaw Spirit's Nikita Kalpov making it a tie. As we get into the third period, it's all about the Guelph Storm as Rylan Singh brings the West up 3-2 with that goal. But it's still more Guelph Storm as we go along, with Lane Gallagher getting the 4-2 lead with this beautiful goal, getting the West the lead.
Here come the West looking for some insurance. They score. They make it 4-2.
Hometown Peterborough player Adam Novotny gets one more goal, giving him 2 on the night, but this one bringing the West closer at 4-3. But it was too little too late, with the West winning against the East 4-3.
We'll wrap things up here. Post-game show coming up. West.
Sunday afternoon at the Odd, highlights with music in the background here. In the first period, the Guelph Storm would get on the board first. 4:09 into the period, Eric Frossard picks up his third goal of the year on a sweet backhand shot. The Rangers would answer back on a wrister from Andrew McNeil, his second of the season, and we are tied 1-1 after one period of play. Into the second, we would go on an early power play for the Rangers. What a rock star on the power play Dylan Edwards has been. Look at him stay with this puck. He picks up his 22nd of the year from Humphreys and Reed. Rangers up 2-1. And then look at this play. Sam O'Reilly sauces it over to Matt Andonovsky right on his stick. Remember that play. It's going to come into play a little bit later. Rangers up 3-1. The Storm would tack one on end of the second, and then they would tie it up in the third. Leo Serlin gets his 11th of the year, and just like that, it's a brand new day for the Guelph Storm. We are tied. But at the end of the game, remember that O'Reilly pass to Andonovsky? How about the Andonovsky diving pass to O'Reilly to win the game with 1:48 left? No big deal. Sam O'Reilly with the game-winning goal from Matt Andonovsky and Jack Pridham. Rangers win 4-3.
Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you looking forward to it? Is this your first time? There's nothing better on a wintry day than sliding down a hill on a tube or just playing in the snow. And that's exactly what these kids got to do.
To offer new Canadians an experience for the first time to experience snow. A lot of them have never had the opportunity to do something like this, and so a really fun Canadian activity is tubing out in the snow, and we're really excited.
It's all part of creating memories and building relationships with some of the region's newest members.
A lot of the participants here today have often had negative interactions with police, and so this is an opportunity for us to provide a positive experience with police in a very low pressure situation, have some laughs, create those bonds. So it's a really unique opportunity for us to be able to offer them as they come to Canada and settle down roots here.
I think it's special, and again, we still see people that have been here from previous years occasionally, and they still remember coming to Chicopee for this event.
Close to 40 kids and their families recently arrived in Waterloo Region from Bangladesh and Sudan.
Is this the first time you've ever done that?
Yes.
A lot of preparation went into making this day a reality, including collecting winter attire.
We even got to drop off some winter clothing donations to them from WRPS members this past week. The smiles on the kids' faces is something that brings me absolute joy. It makes everything worth it, all of the work behind the scenes. It's the reason that we do this.
There's not too many opportunities like this that we get in a year to be part of something like this.